Today is going to be a really exciting episode. We're going to be going over user flows and sketching and mid-fi wireframes, high fidelity wireframes, and user testing. And if you don't know what the heck I'm talking about, don't worry, I'm going to define them in a really easy to understand way as we go along. So stay tuned. If you're like me and you are a designer who first got into design and was like, I want to help save the world, how can I do it? Well, I think I found a way. One of the ways that we can do that is through helping to give makeovers to nonprofits. So this is part 2 for my makeover series featuring CHS. Children's Home Society helps parents with childcare. So parents who maybe are working, who aren't able to afford childcare and so forth, they help them with that support. So part 1 was a bit more about site structure. If you did not watch part 1, go ahead and click the link that I am going to put right over here. So in part 1, we redesigned the navigation. Today we're going to be redesigning the childcare program page as well as the application form. In order for us to improve this experience and also start building empathy towards our users, we're going to want to watch them going through this whole experience and test the current website. So here's a few minutes of the user test that I did with Ashley. What are your thoughts of this page that you're looking at? Is this what you expected to see?
To me, it seems like it's a little bit too much verbiage, personally. Instead of like reading all this, deciding whether it happened to click here, see if I'm eligible, then having to go back and click here and then an application. It's like, no, I would rather have it all on one page. Instead of feeling like a kid when I land here with the colors, the primary color scale here, I want to be an adult. I want to feel like an adult.
Home phone is kind of an irrelevant thing these days. Whenever I see that on a form, I'm always like, who has a home phone? I was done entering, but I was just hanging out on this blank page wondering what was going on. So I had to scroll up. My income source. Oh, all right. So I've got a couple of them. So employment, my monthly income. Okay. Each child under 18 living in your home. And she is a female. I'm not going to add another child because that was painful. All of that information will be lost if I click back. That's unfortunate. I saw how painful it was. Okay, I reviewed. Please submit my application.
On a scale of 1 through 10, how would you rate the ease of experience from what you just had done?
I'm going to give that a solid 3, Elize.
Is this something you would recommend to a friend?
No. No.
Do you feel like your goals were met?
No. So I'm concerned, if I submit that form, am I going to be accepted or am I going to get rejected? Because I would like to prepare myself emotionally, mentally, for whatever that result is going to be based off of the information I've given.
First thing we're going to be doing is a user flow. A user flow is when you're mapping out each step a user is going to take in order to accomplish their goal.
So we always start with a scenario. This user is meeting her boyfriend's parents for the first time and goes to use the restroom, but the bathroom has no towels to dry her hands. Her goal? Make a good impression. Her first step, she uses the restroom. Her second step, she goes to the sink. Third step, she checks for soap and towel. So now she has a decision to make. Is she or is she not going to wash her hands? If she decides no, well, she may get sick from being pretty gross. If she decides yes, she's going to have to dry her hands on her pants. Not a great impression. And after that, she's just going to have to deal with getting weird looks from her boyfriend's parents.
I usually start all of my user flows with a sketch of the flow. The scenario is she's at work, she has a quick break, and therefore she wants to go on to CHS to figure out if she's eligible for assistance. Her goal, find out if she's eligible. So she's just gonna look up Children's Home Society and land on the home page. Thinking about step 2, she said that she wanted to go to the Apply for Assistance page. I want to give Ashley about 2 to 4 questions on this page to figure out whether or not she's eligible before she has to fill out the whole eligibility form.
I would have liked to see eligibility probably, like here instead of off to the side and small.
I'm going to say, eligibility questions here. I'm going to say 2 to 4 max. So if the answer is no, she is not eligible, I still want to give Ashley some options, right? I don't want to just say, no, we can't help you, goodbye. Well, something that we can do is maybe offer them other resources to other government assistant organizations, maybe some other companies that we're aware of that do similar things. Now, if it's yes, you are potentially eligible, well, let's have her fill out that form. After she fills out the form, she's going to get a confirmation. So I took all of the questions that are in the original form and I put it in this Google Sheet. And then what I've done is I've eliminated certain line items that I think could be removed. What I've also done is I looked through and I found 3 questions that I think help to dictate whether or not someone is even eligible to fill out this form. Now, from there, what I've done is I digitized the user flow. So you can see it's home, to the apply for assistance page, to getting the 3 eligibility questions that I'm going to be asking. All right, step number 2, sketching. Who doesn't love to sketch? Because you know what? Anyone can do it. You don't have to be a designer. You don't have to be a great drawer. You're basically getting all your first crappy ideas out there and you're not wasting your time digitizing those bad ideas. Hey Paige, come over here and look at this wireframe I've been spending like 2 hours working on.
Oh girl, that looks like
All right, so when I get into sketching, one of the first things I do is I list out all the things that I'm gonna probably wanna have on this page. Now, this is going to be based on that interview that I had with Ashley.
I would like to see services offered. Maybe seeing some imagery of like actual children instead of just a piggy bank, because yeah, I'm here to save some money, maybe. I'm here to like collect on that benefit. But I'm also here, for numero uno, and that's my kid.
I've added here testimonials. I've added a social media carousel so that it just feels like more of a legitimate site, which is something Ashley wanted. And so after I've listed all those items down, I'm going to number them in order of importance from the user's perspective. From there, what I'm going to do is start to sketch. We'll have a hero image at the top of the page. From there, what I'm going to have is that question form, the eligibility question form.
And then I would have liked to see maybe like a quick information capture box at the bottom for applying.
So she can fill out that first question, move on to the second question, the third question, right up top, above the fold. Above the fold meaning before you start scrolling. See, the next thing we said is services. And she wanted to see more bullet points here.
I just kind of want to see a real quick bullet point summarization.
So that's what we'll do is we'll have some images and we'll have some bullet points. Very simple, very easy, okay? This is just a quick and dirty sketch is what we're doing here. Number 3 is care providers.
Seeing like, hey, care providers we work with.
And from here, we could have like the images of the care providers, maybe a little bit of information about them. Next is testimonials. So from here, maybe there is like, an image of someone, a little bit of information there. We got a quote. From there, we'll go into FAQs. And then lastly is going to be the social media carousel. Mid-fi wireframes are between a low fidelity and a high fidelity wireframe where you're trying to just get enough context, enough photos, enough copy on there so that you're getting better feedback from users and maybe stakeholders. Because a lot of times it's hard for users to give a proper evaluation of your product if they don't really understand what's on the page.
on a scale from 1 to 10, how likely is it that you'd use this product?
0.
Okay.
So here are the mid-fi wireframes I created in Adobe XD. You can see we have the eligibility form right up top. We have these services that are right underneath that. We have the care providers with their photos. We have the testimonials as well. There's another call to action here. We also put the FAQs down below, and here is the social media carousel. So when the user fills out the first eligibility question, there's a drop down. Then they have a second eligibility question, and the third for their monthly income. And then from there, they can see what programs they would be eligible for, and then they can continue their application.
Now, if you want to see me full on go through how I created most of these mid-fi wireframes, I was on Adobe Live last week.
Is I put an image right here in the hero just to have something with a child, because Ashley said she didn't like having that piggy bank that was on this screen here. She wanted to see actual pictures of children. This is a mid-fi wireframe. This is not supposed to be beautiful. And I encourage you to not try to make anything beautiful. And at this point, make it good enough to do user testing.
You can see my whole 2-hour video of me creating these wireframes here. User testing is when you let your users judge your designs. They're giving you feedback in order to make them better, right? Better for that user. Initially, it may feel a little overwhelming when you are getting a lot of feedback. I hate the pictures that you've chosen on here. I really don't think that the
copy makes any sense. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, thanks for your feedback.
You're welcome, anytime. But over time, and the more you do it, you're going to see the value and see how your designs really do improve and are actually better for that user group. I'm testing out these mid-fi wireframes with Ashley. Now I'm only going to be doing one test. Typically, I do about 5 to 7 user tests until there are emerging themes, meaning 4 out of 7 users felt that the drop down was confusing. And you'll typically see those themes arise between 5 to 7 tests. Now, if you can only do 1 or 2 tests, it's better to do than no tests at all. Here's the test with Ashley, and we'll go over the results afterwards.
Just scroll down and tell me your thoughts, what you're looking at, what you pay attention to.
All right, well, first, I can clearly see that you're going to help pay for part or all of childcare expenses. That's good. Select option. Perfect. Okay.
Is that the first thing that you would have done when landing on the page?
Yeah, because
Okay.
right away, if I see find out if you're eligible, I'm like, boom, that's where I want to be.
Yep, okay.
I don't want to waste my time. So I'm employed. There's that what is this that I was hoping for. What's cash aid? Great. This makes me feel like perhaps after I plug in this information, I'm going to get a decisioned, informed answer. So let's just say that's it. Looks like you're eligible. Wonderful. That's what I wanted. Okay, so there's my child's information. Nice. I can final review everything in a nice, clean form layout. Alternative payment program. So that's nice. This actually might even make me feel a little bit more motivated to go do something extra. Like, oh wow, they offer help for me to go to school. Maybe I should look into that instead of just looking into care. You know, that can actually motivate me to be a better person, which makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Oh, nice. They're all professional quality photos, so I like that too because it looks reputable. It looks legitimate. Testimonials. That's always good to see.
List 3 things that could be improved upon.
So this is gonna seem kind of silly and petty, but when I fill out forms like this, I always kind of like when it says congratulations and then my name. I feel like it makes it feel a little bit more personal, less robotic. Maybe a way to access my information or like a confirmation number so it feels just a little bit more official.
On a scale of 1 through 10, how would you rate this experience for the ease?
Super easy, super simple, and super clean. I would give it a 10.
What is the most memorable part of this experience for you?
I think it was getting the decision right away. That's the most memorable because I can walk out of this room right now and know that I've qualified for something. I'm making a difference in my family's life somehow, some way, or I'm at least putting out the effort to see what I can do and feel better about that. Hi, thank you.
Hi.
So from Ashley's test, we were able to validate a few things, which always feels really good. So number one, she liked that the eligibility form was right up top, and she liked how we broke down the questions. The second thing is she liked the way we broke down content and the content that we added with the caregivers, with the FAQ, and so forth. And she also felt really good about the whole experience, that it was really quick and that she felt like she was actually making a difference in her household. Some of the things she thought could improve her experience was to use her name when we can, like thanks Ashley, or you're eligible Ashley. And then the other place was to make sure that she can change her account details or the information that she had inputted at the confirmation page. So we're gonna go ahead and do that in the high fidelity stage. Simply put, high fidelity wireframes are making ugly low fidelity wireframes attractive. Wireframes are kind of like fresh baked cake that tastes really good, great recipe, but there's no icing on top. High fidelity is that icing. It makes it look attractive and pretty and actually makes it look even more delicious. So we're thinking about colors, typography, and spacing, making sure it all looks pixel perfect. Now let's watch the exciting part, befores and afters. If you want to go a little bit deeper into how I did the high fidelity wireframes, you can watch my Adobe Live video over here. Just hit subscribe so that I know that I should keep moving forward making these videos.